Hello and welcome to livealittlehigher.com. Today, in our class based on the book of The Mystery of Marriage by Rabbi Itzhak Ginsburg, we will continue speaking about the relationship between a couple. As I said before, there's 3 stages in the relationship. One is to cling to each other. That's at the beginning when a couple gets married and they start getting used to each other and they start to cling into each other. Then we have the phase of the relationship where we work the relationship, and then once these 2 stages are completed, then the couple goes into the stage of oneness, where really they're one. If one is in pain, the other one is in pain. If one is hungry, the other one is hungry. And so we continue with the stage of relationship, understanding how we get to that oneness. And today we will be discussing a very interesting topic. It's called mirror psychology. And as the Baal Shem Tov used to say, as water reflects a face. What you see in others is really a reflection of you. Many people get married and they think that they're going to change the other one. That the other one is the one that needs to be changed. Oh, you know, he's a grumpy guy. I'm going to make him a happy guy. Or, you know what, she's always late to everything. I'm going to make her a person that's always on time. And we try in our minds to try to fix these flaws that we think are flaws of our better half. And we dedicate our lives to changing them. But in reality, Rabbi Itzhak Ginsburg, what he's teaching us here through the Kabbalah, through the Tanya, is that the relationship in a marriage is not meant to be there to change the other person. In reality, the relationship is to change yourself. So marriage really is the biggest growing experience of your life. Your husband or your wife is the closest person that you'll ever have a relationship with, apart from Hashem. It's the closest you can get to God. And really, through this relationship, we are able to really grow and connect ourselves to Hashem and to be the best that we can be. And I always tell girls when they're dating, or boys, like I ask them, does this person take the best out of you? And when you see a kid dating another kid and they say, yes, that person makes me be the best of myself, then you know that it's a very healthy relationship. Because in reality, it's not that the other person is trying to change the other one, but being next to that person allows the other person to try to be the best person they can be. And that's the whole purpose of the relationship. So our sages teach us that whoever is pleasing to man is pleasing to God. And there's 3 relationships basically. It's the one with yourself, the one with others, and the relationship between you and Hashem. And really, if you want to know if you have a good relationship with Hashem, you have to really look at your relationship with yourself and your relationship with others. If you don't have a good relationship with yourself, or you don't have a good relationship with other people, then you have to look really deep inside of yourself, because there's something that is not right. And in reality, it's not you that you're here to change others. In reality, they're here to make you change yourself, and vice versa. That's why it's called mirror psychology. So since marriage is the most intense form of interpersonal relationship, this principle applies first and foremost to the married life. And it's here that one will confront most strikingly his successes and failures in self-refinement, mirrored in his spouse's behavior towards him. So this also can be applied to your other relationships in life, with your children, with your parents, with your friends, with your sister. Because in reality, the way someone else behaves with you is a reaction of how you make them feel. We always say in Colombia that if you run after a mouse, the mouse is going to run away. But if you take the mouse and you corner him in a corner with a broom, and the mouse has nowhere else to go, he's going to bite you. So the same way in the way you speak to others and the way you relate to others, if you're running after them, they're going to find a way out. But if you're always putting them against the wall, and the way you speak to them and you treat them is an aggressive way in which they have no way out from where they are, they're gonna bite you back. And I see in the husband-wife relationship that sometimes, as we talked last week on communicating, when you talk in a way that is dismissive and it's a way that is belittling to the other, when you put another one in the corner, like you're out for dinner with another couple and the husband says something that was out of place, and then you tell your husband, oh, you know, you're always talking in such a way in front of everybody, and you do it in front of your friends, and you're really making him little in the eyes of others. The only way he can really get out of that is by reacting. He has to be a very high level person, very spiritually connected and in a very high spiritual level to be able to keep quiet and not answer back. But when we attack people, the most normal thing is that they're going to attack us back because it's their way to react. People are very reactive. They're not so much proactive. And in reality, in marriage, the whole purpose is to learn to be proactive. It's to learn to refine ourselves and to bring out the best of ourselves. So if the husband is still laboring under false self-centered notions of love and romance, his behavior will certainly reflect this, and his wife will naturally resent his egocentricity and pit herself against him. So what is it saying here? At the beginning of the book, we learned that the biggest problem that men have in general is that they're very egocentric, they're very self-centered. Not in a bad way or a bad meaning way, but this is the nature of men. They're always thinking first about themselves. And the wife, in general, the woman is a more giving person. She's always worried about everybody. She puts everybody first before herself. You see in a house where there's not enough money to buy clothes for everybody, she'll clothe everybody before herself. Or if she has to feed her kids, she'll feed them before herself. But the husband, his nature, that's not his real nature. And that's why it is a mitzvah for men to get married, because when they get married, they have to start thinking about others. They have to really start putting themselves on a side and thinking about their wives and their kids first. So what it's saying here is that when he is still attached to that egocentricity, and the relationship is going to be based on that, and the wife will become sour towards her husband because this is what she feels. She feels like, you know, this guy, he works 24 hours a day, but it's not because he cares about us and me and the kids and that we have a good life. He's doing it because he wants to have a successful story. He wants everybody to say, oh, what a successful guy, or he wants a new car, whatever, but he's not really thinking about ourselves. So unconsciously, this is in a very unconscious level, the wife will become a person that's going to be against her husband, because this is the reaction she's going to get from his behavior. So the relationship that of two unrelating individuals occupying separate space, colliding spaces, will be characterized by frequent and painful friction. Last week we spoke that a couple that is healthy in the relationship, they share space, time, and their souls together. So when each one of them is in a different mindset, when she wants her kids to grow in a beautiful home, with peace in the home, with a father that comes home and hugs the kids and spends time with the kids and is loving towards her, and she wants to give this to her kids, but the husband comes home, he doesn't want them to bother him, he wants to just watch TV and read the newspaper, he's tired, then this causes a certain friction because they're not sharing the same space. Maybe physically they're sharing the same space, but mentally each one is in a different place. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, a couple came once to him and they had very big differences. She wanted this, he wanted that, and they were having a lot of friction. And he said to them, you can live in different pages of the book, like you don't have to occupy the same page of the book, but you have to be in the same book. Like if the couple is in two so separate places in life, each one wants such different things from the other, they have not the same priorities and the same visions and the same wants, then it's very hard for a couple to be able to have a healthy relationship. So what the Rebbe was saying is, okay, maybe you're here and he's here, and maybe one day you'll be here and you'll be here, but at least grow together. You have to go to the same place. Mentally, you both have to want the same things and yearn for the same things. So I'm going to leave it here. This is something to think about. Next week we will continue with this topic. It's very interesting, and I hope that you can assess yourselves and your husbands and make a list of what's important for each other and what you want in your life, and in that way you'll be able to focus in developing your dynasty, developing what you want for each other. And I hope this can bring a lot of peace to your home and live a little higher. Thank you.